Yes, my people, welcome back to EMGM Sports. It's me, your boy Enzo, the realest in the game. And just like that, I'm back with another one. So my people, in today's video, I'll be reacting to True Geordie from the Pain Game. I'm sure you all know True Geordie from the Pain Game. One of the biggest YouTubers out there, do you know what I mean? Especially when it comes to this boxing and football content creating thing, whatever you want to call it. He's one of the biggest out there, one of the pioneers, you know what I mean? Salute to him. Shout out to him. Do you know what I mean? I like him. I agree with some of the shit he has to say. I disagree with some of the shit he has to say. But apparently, he's becoming under a lot of pressure. He's been getting a lot of heat on the socials after he posted this video about Devin Haney's performance against Brian Norman Jr. on Saturday night in Riyadh. Many people are calling him a hater. When I went online, people are calling True Geordie a hater, man. Do you know what I mean? They're saying, why is he being so harsh on Devin Haney? Now, I haven't watched the video that he dropped yet, so I'm going to be reacting with you today in real time. Do you know what I mean? And I'm going to keep it balanced. You know me, I'm Enzo, the realest in the game. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to keep it fair. I'm going to give my honest opinion on what True Geordie is saying in his post-fight reaction about David Haney. Do you know what I mean? So stick around, man. This is going to be a good one, my people. Without further ado, man, I'm going to flip my screen. Let's check out what True Geordie had to say about Devin Haney. Is he a hater or is he not a hater? Let's find out.
Welcome back to the Pain Game, and Devin Haney beat Brian Norman Jr., annoyingly. And Devin Haney fans, they've been rubbing it.
Hold on. Why is he saying annoyingly? Why? Why is he annoying for Devin Haney to beat Brian Norman Jr.? Okay, I get it. Listen, from the offset, from the get-go, straight out the gate, all right, I can tell True Geordie does not like Devin Haney. Do you know what I mean? That's been made clear, because how can you be annoyed about a fight winning a fight? But anyways, let's carry on, man.
My face for the last 24 hours. Oh, they've been letting me know I was wrong. At least about the fact that Brian Norman could win that fight. I really wanted him to. I think some...
Listen, I predicted a Brian Norman Jr. victory too. Do you know what I mean? I was just looking at, I based it on both fighters' last performances, and Devin Haney didn't look too good in his last performance against Jose Ramirez, and Brian Norman Jr. looked good. Do you know what I mean? He got a knockout in his last fight. So based on those performances, I predicted Brian Norman Jr. to win the fight, you know, because Haney looked a bit vulnerable. So nothing wrong with making a prediction and getting it wrong. Nothing wrong with that at all. Why do people get so much criticism for making a prediction and getting it wrong? Come on, man. Like, it's not that deep, my people. It really isn't.
It was wishful thinking, because we'd never seen Brian Norman at that level. And Devin Haney just looked so terrible in his last fight. You've got to hope, haven't you? You've got to hope. But Devin Haney won. But does that mean he proved me wrong entirely? Fuck no. Definitely not. Anyone who's coming here for this video thinking, he proved you wrong. He proved you wrong. He really is entertaining. Were you watching the full fight? Because one knockdown in 12 rounds does not make you all of a sudden an entertaining fighter, by the way. Yes, the headline may look a bit better, like, oh, he stunned him, he smashed him, he destroyed him. But that's not actually what happened here at all. Shockingly.
Come on, man. You got to give Devin Haney credit for getting the knockdown, right? Because a lot of people were saying that, oh, Devin Haney hasn't really got the power. Devin Haney can't hurt Brian Norman Jr. But because he did hurt him, he did knock him down. Come on. You got to give the kid credit. Come on, True Geordie, man. Don't be too harsh, man. Come on, man.
Because Brian Norman Jr. was on a fucking platter to be eaten, and Devin Haney still didn't have the balls to do it. So for those who think that Devin Haney has overcome his demons and is now trading and exchanging and he's a really brave fighter all of a sudden, let's actually take a look at what the fuck happened in this fight. Round one here, Devin Haney comes out and has no interest in throwing a single fucking punch. And at that point, I really was thinking, you're really not over this shit. Like, to not even throw a punch for, what, 2 minutes?
Nah, but come on. Listen, I hear what True Geordie's saying. Seriously, I hear it. However, look, you just said it yourself, yeah? He was a bit nervous in his last fight, right? Do you know what I mean? After what happened with Ryan Garcia and stuff. Brian Norman Jr. is a dangerous fighter. Do you know what I mean? And Devin Haney, like, he's got really good ring IQ. Do you know what I mean? He's a very talented boxer. Obviously, the first round, is called a feeling out process, right? You're trying to get a feeling to the fight. You're trying to suss your opponent out. Do you know what I mean? You're downloading that data. You're trying to study their movement. You're trying to see their footwork. You're trying to see their head movement. You're downloading all that data. Most of the times, a lot of the top fighters in the first round, they don't do anything. Floyd Money Mayweather was one of those fighters that in the first round, he would just download the data. Do you know what I mean? But you never saw people criticizing Floyd Money Mayweather for not doing nothing in the first round, you know? So I feel like that statement there from True Geordie is a bit harsh. I understand what he's saying. Yeah, you want a fight to be more active, but the really elite fighters like take their time. Do you know what I mean? They don't go all of a sudden, you know, from the first bell, go gang ho and start swinging. Like it's very rare, innit? Unless you're David Benavidez. But most of the top elite fighters, man, they just they're steady in the first round. They take their time to download that data, study their opponents, and then as the rounds go on, that's when they start picking up.
It's mental. Like, you're supposed to be a world champion. Name one other world champion who comes out, just name one, who comes out and doesn't throw a fucking punch for
Mayweather. I just named one. Floyd Money Mayweather does that. Do you know what I mean? Even Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford could be a slow starter as well. So I've just named you 2 world champions, whatever. A former world champion, a current undisputed champion.
Multiple minutes. I mean, it's insane. He's there in the pocket and he's just every time run away, nothing thrown. I mean,
I don't know what True Geordie's watching, but True Geordie's watching. How is Haney running away there? I don't see no running away. I can see back movement. Haney's on the back foot. Do you know what I mean? I can see that, but where is that running? He's not running at all. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, all right, this is not good stuff for True Geordie, man. Yo, where you going with this, bro? I might have to bring the heat to you, bro. Like, we're talking about.
Clearly, his confidence at this point in the fight was still in major trouble here. And I'll save you the extra however many seconds it is until he finally throws a punch, because honestly, life's too fucking short to watch too much of Devin Haney. The one thing we can actually give him some credit for is the knockdown in round 2. He's still running away. He's still got no interest in exchanging. And he finally...
Was we watching I don't know. Maybe I was, because I was doing a live watch along. So I was watching the fight. True Geordie, I believe, him and his team, the Pain Game team, all them guys, they were in Saudi. They were live. Like, they were actually at the event. Like, I don't know. Maybe I was watching something else on TV. But from what I was watching, Devin Haney wasn't running at all. He was just using clever footwork. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of the time, Brian Norman Jr. was falling short of his punches. He wasn't getting close enough to Devin Haney to actually do anything. Like, that's not Devin Haney's fault. That's the lack of skills by Brian Norman Jr. to close the distance and let his shots go.
He lets his hands go. And I think at 147, when he's not boiling himself down to fight much smaller men, one of the advantages, and he did throw a right hand there, is the power. He does seem to have a bit more behind his shots here. And Brian Norman Jr. felt the fucking wrath of it. And here it comes. The left hand and the right behind
beautiful.
It drops Brian Norman Jr.
That was a beautiful right hand by Devin Haney. Yo. He showed a lot of power there.
Smashed his fucking nose big time. That right there was the best thing that could have happened to Devin Haney's confidence. And as much as people will take what I said out of context, at no point did I ever say Devin Haney doesn't have the talent to do good things in a boxing ring. I never said that. I said he doesn't have the mentality to do it. He has all the talent. That's not a...
Hold on. What? What did True Geordie just say? Devin Haney hasn't got the mentality. Yo, Devin Haney is a free weight division champion. Free weight division champion. I mean, how has he not got the mentality? This Devin Haney was undisputed champion. Undisputed champion, I believe, in 140. Is he 140, 147? Correct me, but Devin Haney was undisputed champion. How do you become an undisputed champion and a free weight division champion and you don't have the mentality? Come on, bro. You're reaching. You're reaching. I like True Geordie, yeah, but that statement there is absolutely diabolical. I'm Enzo, the realest in the game. I cannot give you a pass, mate. you're not getting away with that statement. That is completely false, mate. You're talking out of your... Do you know what I mean? Like, listen, now I know you definitely don't like Devin Haney. That is pure hatred. Look at his eyes, like. Look at his eyes. Look how big his eyes are. Look how lit his eyes are. Look how big his eyes have opened. Look how wide they are. Damn, true Geordie, man. I like you, a cool guy. You know what I mean? I actually watch some of your videos. I'm like, yeah, this guy's good. Like, the work ethic is good, but yo, you got to take that statement back, man. You got to apologize for that statement because that is absolutely false, mate. It's not factual at all.
Debate at all, in my opinion. Unfortunately, I don't know if Brian Norman has the fucking talent. I think he's a decent fighter, but I think he was in there with a guy who was a level above him in terms of some of the attributes Devin Haney has. I think he's quicker. I think he's got better feet. Norman Jr. just looked a bit one-dimensional.
See, I agree with you, Geordie, in that statement there. Yeah, I agree with him, yeah? Devin Haney, quicker feet, better boxing skills. That I agree with. But some of the shit he said before that, my God.
Slow, if I'm honest. And I think Haney knew that coming into the fight. If you're going to catch a Devin Haney, you have to have extremely quick hands like Ryan Garcia does because he's in and out. He doesn't want to trade with you. Now, as much as I like being right, there's some YouTubers who they just can't handle being wrong and they'll fucking make any excuse on the sun. I've got no problem in saying that was a fucking good shot. So Brian Norman Jr. is absolutely fucked here. His nose has been flattened. He's there for the taking. And Devin Haney at this point, I'm thinking, look, I didn't want him to win this fight, but if he's going to be entertaining, then great. You're actually giving me what I want here. And he goes for the finish, kind of, but he just doesn't have a fucking clue how to finish. That's the honest truth. I've seen grannies with better finishing instincts than this guy. Like, I don't know why. Because he was right there for you. And I mean, he hasn't got a fucking clue, mate. And that should worry Devin Haney fans out there because Devin Haney called Brian Norman a bum. Or if he is a bum and you've got him so badly hurt and he's there for the taking and you still can't get him out of there, well, what's going to happen at the elite level when you're fighting the top guys then? That should be a cause for concern because the best guys finish well. That is not up for debate. And again, he's just...
Nah, listen, just reacting to what True Geordie just said there about Devin Haney not being able to finish Brian Norman Jr. What you have to remember is Brian Norman Jr. is a champion. He was in that ring. He was the champion. Brian Norman Jr. has never been stopped. He's a tough guy. He's a tough cookie to crack. Do you know what I mean? So, True Geordie saying, oh, go ahead and finish him. For me, that's a bit disrespectful to Brian Norman Jr. I understand what True Geordie is saying. True Geordie is saying that, like, have that killer instinct, go for the kill, go for the jugular, whatever. But at the same time, yeah, Haney's not stupid. Haney is a very clever boxer. Do you know what I mean? He will not put himself in a position where he leaves himself open so that he gets countered with that left from Brian Norman Jr. He's not going to do that. So for me, Haney did the right thing. He put the pressure on, and when he lost momentum, when Brian Norman Jr. gathered himself again, obviously, look, you're not gonna get the finish. What you do next, you just box him, because now you know you can hurt him. You know you're better skilled, you're a better boxer, mate. Take the easy win. It's not every fight you have to go for the kill. Sometimes, like, I actually enjoy fighters who just box beautifully, and for me, Haney in this fight boxed very well. And we're gonna look at the CompuBox numbers in a minute, and we're gonna see whether True Geordie was right in terms of the volume and the output from Haney. Was it very low? Was it accurate? We're going to look at it before the end of this video, but let's carry on anyways.
Jabbing, he's just, giving up on it. Can't even barely land a good shot on him. Holding, and yep. That's that, really. I mean, little did I know at the time, because Brian Norman was so hurt, there was really no danger after that. Haney doesn't come close to fucking hurting him again. Nice jab, but I mean, again, in and out.
Look, Devin Haney wasn't holding. It was actually Brian Norman Jr. that's holding Devin Haney. Because Brian Norman Jr. was falling short with his punches, because he couldn't close that distance with boxing skills, with feints, with the jab. His jab was absolutely non-existent in that. I don't think he landed many jabs. Yeah, he didn't really utilize it to close that distance, to try and get closer to Devin Haney and use his footwork, do you know what I mean, to cut off the ring well so that he blocks off Devin Haney. Because he was falling so short and he was swinging that left foot from a mile away, like he was in slow-mo. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was missing, and then he was leaning into Devin Haney. Because he was leaning into Devin Haney was ducking under. So it looked like Devin Haney's holding when no, it's actually Brian Norman Jr. that's holding on to Devin Haney. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes you really have to analyze a fight and watch a fight properly. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, man. Some of these guys, because I don't know, listen, I don't know like whether they're just content creating boxing or they really understand how boxing works. You know what I mean? I'm not saying True Geordie doesn't understand boxing, but from what he's talking about here, I saw a completely different fight when I was analyzing the fight because I've watched it a couple of times, and for me, Devin Haney boxed the absolute perfect fight. He schooled Brian Norman Jr.
You're supposed to be fucking getting this guy out of here at this point, mate. He's on a fucking plate for you. But one thing I did think was, well, at least this is going to give him the confidence in the next round or the round after that to put his punches together and to really put a beating on this guy and to transform the way we see Devin Haney. With someone that vulnerable for a finish, surely that's going to come. And it never did. And I think that's even more damning than some of the previous fights from Devin Haney where he just runs around and jabs and runs and holds. You had a guy just there for the taking and you still couldn't fucking even come close to getting it done. Let's look at the level of running and inactivity we've seen from Devin Haney in this fight. This is the very next round where I was expecting to come out like a fucking bat out of hell. Look, no punches thrown. Nothing. Still fearful.
But hold on. You just said that Devin Haney's running. Where's the running? I personally don't see no running. There is no running. I see foot movement there. Do you know what I mean? I see Devin Haney moving back, using the feints. Do you know what I mean? But I don't see no running. He's no like Devin Haney's using a little lateral movement, moving from side to side. He's not even doing that, is he?
Still running away. Nothing. What the fuck is...
Mate, he's not running away, mate. He just rolled under a punch. How is that running away? He's on the ropes. He rolled under a punch. That's not running away, mate. Come on. What are you watching?
Going on here? Everyone's saying, oh, you proved you're wrong, but he dropped him. But where are you backing this up like? Because you should be putting a fucking beating on this kid, not running away again. What are you running away from, man? This is mental. And anyone who thinks he's proved me wrong, you better watch the fucking fight again, because nothing of the sort has happened here. Not a fucking punch thrown here. One jab, brilliant. Wow. And again, running away. What the fuck am I watching?
Mate, he's not running away, mate. He's on the back foot. Brian Norman Jr. is rushing him. Brian Norman Jr. is throwing a couple of punches there. And Devin Haney has ducked under it while he's on the ropes. And then both fighters hold. How is that running away? He's not running away. So now evading punches, ducking punches, rolling is now running away. Boxing is all about hit and don't get hit. I really don't understand what fight he was watching, man.
I never understood why people like to watch Friends. Maybe in years to come, like with Friends, people will rewatch Devin Haney and go, he was shit, actually. He was. And I don't mean shit in terms of ability. I just mean shit to watch. Because anyone who's framing this as if Devin Haney silenced the critics, my point in the video on the run-up was, he has talent, he just doesn't use it to its full potential. I think this fight proved exactly that. And you can make a mistake like...
Mate, how has Devin Haney not used his talents well when he's been undisputed champion and he's a free weight division champion? How has he not used his talent well? How are you supposed to use your talent then? Mate, I don't, True Geordie. Listen, man, I don't want to go all in on True Geordie, man. I like the guy, man. It's good, but I like what he's done for boxing. I like what he's done for the YouTube game. Do you know what I mean? I like some of the people that are around him that he does the shows with. Do you know what I mean? So I don't wanna go too hard. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know me, Enzo the realest in the game, but nah, True Geordie, he's just got personal beef with Devin Haney, whatever. He don't like Devin Haney. Devin Haney is not his type of fighter. Do you know what I mean? And he's fine. It's not his cup of tea. We get it. I understand it. I have some fighters, no matter what they do, they're just not my cup of tea. I don't like their style of fighting. I just don't like them. I don't like the way they do their hair. I just don't like them. I think this is the case with True Geordie and Devin Haney. He just don't like Devin Haney. He just don't like the style of Devin Haney. But for me personally, Devin Haney fought a masterful fight on Saturday. He schooled Brian Norman Jr. Outclassed him, made him look absolutely ordinary. And if you can do that to a world champion, listen, you are very special, very gifted, because only a gifted fighter can make a world champion look ordinary. And Devin Haney did that.
They're going to big Devin Haney up now, but the reality is he should have put him to fucking sleep within a round of that fucking big knockdown. But he didn't want to. He let him off. And look, if you do this against elite level fighters, it will come back to haunt you without a fucking doubt. People can say, oh, well, you mustn't like Floyd Mayweather or Shakur Stevenson because this is the sweet sides. No, it isn't. Floyd Mayweather and Shakur Stevenson do not spend minutes at a time running away like this. They fucking don't. Ever. Yeah.
But listen, let me say this to you. When Floyd was fighting, I remember people were calling Floyd a runner. People were saying the same shit about Floyd. They were saying, yo, he runs away. He doesn't want to engage. People were saying that about Floyd. People were saying about, they were saying that. I mean, look at Geordie. Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. Look how wide open they are, man. He does not like Devin Haney, man. God damn it.
They've had the odd boring round. This guy could put a glass eye to sleep. But unfortunately, he couldn't put a fucking opponent with a broken nose and a fucking concussion to sleep. And even if you're a massive Devin Haney fan, you can't convince yourself that was his best. You think he gave his best there? Running away like that, not throwing.
I think he fought well. I think that was a really good comeback fight from Devin Haney, especially after his performance against Jose Ramirez. That was poor. This one was he was very efficient. And I'm going to flip my screen again. I'm going to show you the CompuBox numbers because I want to keep things balanced. And we're going to see whether True Geordie's right about Devin Haney not throwing enough punches. We're going to see it.
Punches for minutes on end. It's a disgrace, man. People paid fucking millions of pounds to this guy to get in there and fight. People paid pay-per-view to watch him fight. And that's the way he fights. Fuck off. I think in order to get the best out of Devin Haney, you have to force it on him and you have to make it so that he is in there with someone who can catch up to him and force him to fight. Like Ryan Garcia. Maybe Conor Benn. Conor Benn's got quick feet, explosive hands, and he can fight for 12 rounds solid. Is Conor Benn on the technical level of Devin Haney? I don't know. But my God, he'll bring a fucking fight to the bastard. Now, one man who does not need...
Bastard. Come on. A bastard means someone who hasn't got a dad, right? Come on. Bill Haney's there, bro. Bill Haney's dad is there, man. How is Devin Haney a bastard? Oh, my God. True Geordie, man.
Anyone to bring the fight to him is David Benavidez, who put on one of the most impressive performances.
All right, so he's moved on from Devin Haney. Listen, I hear what True Geordie's saying. I understand what he's saying. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, yeah, we all have our preference. Yeah, it's horses for courses. We all have certain fighters with certain styles that we enjoy watching more than others. That's understandable. That's okay. Like, from that point of view, I'm in agreement with True Geordie. Like, he's the Devin Haney style is not his. It's not something that is easy on the eye for him. He doesn't fancy. He doesn't like it. I get it. But to question his mentality, which makes no sense. Like I said, Devin Haney, he's been undisputed champion, free weight division champion. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, you can't question a mentality of someone who's achieved what Devin Haney has achieved. Do you know what I mean? You just can't question it. For me, it's not acceptable, man. Nah, you're not getting a pass on that, man. And also, for me in this fight, I don't agree with True Geordie talking about Devin Haney running. He was not running. He used great footwork, great foot movement. Do you know what I mean? Like, he made Brian Norman Jr. look stupid. At the end of the day, like, even True Geordie himself said it, Brian Norman Jr. just couldn't close the distance. He couldn't get close enough to Devin Haney to let his shots go. He didn't have the boxing skills to set up his shots. He didn't utilize his jab. You know, so it's not Devin Haney's fault. You have to raise Brian Norman Jr. Devin Haney went in there, boxed masterfully, got the victory, champion again in 147. Job done. What more do you want the kid to do? Now, lastly, I'm going to flip my screen quickly. Let's look at the CompuBox numbers, yeah? Let's just look at the CompuBox numbers. So, let's see what True Geordie was saying here, if he's actually, some of the things he was saying, if he's actually true. So, in round one, Brian Norman Jr., total punches thrown, 27 for Brian Norman Jr. Devin Haney, 9 punches in round one. So True Geordie was right. Like, the output in round one from Devin Haney was very low. You know, was very low. So that's understandable, yeah. But look at the accuracy, though. Sometimes we look at a fighter, they don't throw enough punches, but then we have to look at the accuracy. So the accuracy from Devin Haney was 22.2%. landing accuracy. He threw 9 punches in that round. He landed 2. Brian Norman Jr. threw 27, only landed 4, a percentage of 14.8%. So it just shows you how efficient, how accurate Devin Haney was in that fight. He did not waste his punches. When he did throw a punch, he was landing half of the time of it. Brian Norman Jr., as you can see, threw a higher volume than Devin Haney, but he was only landing at 14.8%. So he wasn't accurate. He was being made to miss. He was being made to look silly in that ring. Now, if we go by the other rounds, round 2, round 3, like the output is still, if you look at Devin Haney, if you look at the numbers here, Devin Haney had a lower output, but a higher landing accuracy. And that's what counts. That's what scores in the eye of the judges. That's what wins you fight. It just proves to you that Devin Haney is a very efficient and accurate fighter. You don't need to throw 1,000 punches here and land 1 for you to... That's not elite. That's not good boxing. That is stupid boxing. Devin Haney boxed smart. He used his ring IQ was on point. He used all that experience, man, the undisputed experience that he's got. Very efficient. You know, he was landing every single round. If you look at the numbers, every single round, Devin Haney landed at a higher punch accuracy than Brian Norman Jr. Even with the jabs, Devin Haney was landing at 40%. If you look at Brian Norman Jr., his highest was 20% when it comes to the jabs landed. He was nowhere near. He was nowhere near. You know, like power punches, again, Devin Haney dominates on the accuracy. The highest power punch accuracy for Brian Norman Jr. was in the 6th round. He threw what? 37.3% power punches landing accuracy. Out of 17, he landed 6. Devin Haney, he threw 12 power punches, lower output, 5 less than Brian Norman Jr. He landed 5 by a higher landing accuracy of 41.7%. Devin Haney was just too accurate. He was just too cute, too smart, too intelligent for Brian Norman Jr. So Devin Haney, man, shouts to him. For me, he boxed well. You know, for me, he absolutely boxed well. You can go check out the CompuBox numbers. It's there. I might leave the link in the descriptions. Go check it out and make your own judgment. You know, listen, I don't have nothing against Geordie. He's a good guy, whatever. He's done a lot for the scene, especially the boxing content creating scene. He really elevated it. Do you know what I mean? He's broke barriers. Well done to him. I can see him. He's doing things with the Saudis and all that. Great, man. Turkey Al Sheikh. Go get your bag, man. But listen, I just feel, I don't think he's a hater. I just feel like Devin Haney is just not the style of fighter that he likes. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. You know what I mean? That's okay. There's fighters that I don't like. Do you know what I mean? But should True Geordie be getting the heat? Do you know what I mean? And the hate that is getting online. Me personally, it's not that deep, man. It's a bit over the top. Listen, we're all entitled to our opinions. Do you know what I mean? Some of us have different ways of expressing it and putting it across. Me, I always keep it real because I really don't give a F what anybody thinks. I'm going to say what I got to say. Do you know what I mean? Especially when it comes to the professional side of fighters. I want to say what I got to say. And I think we should allow people like True Geordie to say what they want to say. We might disagree. It's fine. It's cool. It's boxing, isn't it? But hating, like the hate that he's been getting, the heat that he's faced, the backlash that I've seen online, nah, I don't think it's warranted. I don't think it's warranted. But listen, like I said, I've done this reaction video. I don't agree with a lot of the things that he said. Some of them, in most parts, I agree with it, but the majority of it, I don't agree with him. I think he's, I don't know what fight he was watching. He's misinformed, ill-advised. I don't know what fight he was. He needs to focus more on the learning the art of boxing. Do you know what I mean? Instead of just reacting, he needs to learn how to actually proper analyze the fight. Me, I'm a boxing coach. So certain things I'm watching in the fight, there's certain movement that I'm seeing, True Geordie might not be able to see because he's not a boxing coach. Do you know what I mean? He probably does go to the gym and throws punches, but he's not a boxer. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if he's fought before. I doubt it. Do you know what I mean? So listen, I want to leave you at that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, my people. Is True Geordie just a hater, or is he telling the truth? Is he like, is he right about Devin Haney? Is Devin Haney, you know, not at the levels that he should be, and was he running a lot in that fight? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, my people. I really appreciate it. Once again, thank you so much for watching EMGM Sports. It's me, your boy Enzo, the realest in the game. Please don't forget to smash the like button. And if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe, because that's the only way you're going to help us to grow. I'll be back real soon with another one. Until then, stay blessed, my people. Peace.